Okay. Got Lexi
Well,
on.
they want to know if it's done.
You guys hang tight for just a minute. Okay, see if we get a couple more people on. Lexi, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay, cool. Let me make you a little louder, so if you need to talk, we can hear you.
There's a remote back here. Okay.
There we go. She's coming back or not. One phone call and I'll be back and we will learn opportunities. Okay. Okay, just a few of us today. Do we have anybody new on Zoom?
Heard somebody.
Yeah, we got some friends. Hi, Zoom friends.
Hi, this is Daisha. I'm here. I just didn't want to come to the office today. I wasn't feeling myself, like have a sinus infection, I think, so I don't want to pass germs.
Yeah, there's some of that going around.
Stay home.
Stay home. I don't know about y'all, but I'm really sensitive to mold, and there's a lot of mold right now. Yeah.
It's horrible. Sinus headache.
Take care of yourself.
Thanks.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about opportunities. First and foremost, it's how you get paid, so that's important.
Yes.
As soon as you have a deal, you have to know how to turn it in. But we're also going to talk about some of the cooler parts of opportunities that help you manage your business and see what your pipeline looks like and see if you're hitting your goals. And also manage your contract to close business. So we're going to talk about that a lot, as well as the basics of how to turn in your deals. So who on has done a deal and turned it in on opportunities? Nobody in this room? Zoomers, I see some Zoomers in there that have probably,
I have opportunities, but not like.
they're not completely done yet, right? Okay,
Yes,
so we'll
they're
go
looking.
through, we're gonna do a fake one and we'll do everything right up to the turn it into Sherry step because,
Oh, okay. Will this also include the step to add? Like.
Hi.
Because we have to add author read for her piece and
yeah,
commission.
the coaching.
Is that
Yes.
okay.
yes, we can talk, yes, we can
Okay.
definitely talk about that. Okay, so here I am on my main dashboard page, right? I'm logged in at agent.kw.com. And if you ever want to see all the different applets, you can click on the red KW and it shows you the word of what it is, if you're not familiar with the little pictures. And opportunities is this little handshake guy. So I'm going to click on that and it's going to go to my opportunities dashboard. So nobody here is on Teams. Do I have any team members or team owners on Zoom? Nope. Okay. So I have a team account, so you're going to see a couple things look a little different, but you're still going to have this pipeline. You're just not going to have these tabs right here. You're not going to have the one with a name on it. You'll have your name, all opportunities, and all discussions. So this is a visual view of all your deals. If you want to see them in a list view, you can click on the all opportunities. And then you see it in list view. And then you can even sort it by close date. If you want to see your most recent ones, or if you want to see your oldest ones, okay?
I looked down when you did that. Oh, the arrow, I see.
Just the arrow, yeah. Or if you want to see all your listings together or all your buyers together, you can do it by typing to see all your buyers, right?
Got it.
Okay. Let's go back to this visual view because I kind of like this. We've got all of our listings in a pipeline and all of our buyers in a pipeline. They also have a pipeline for leases. So if you do leases, you're going to put those in there. But you can see I don't do leases, so that one is just kind of blank. Under each listings and buyers, you've got 5 phases. These are called phases. These are set in stone by KW. You have cultivate, appointment, active, under contract, and closed. So those are the 5 basic phases of a transaction. So as soon as you meet somebody that raises their hand and says, yeah, I might want to buy sometime soon, you're going to enter them as an opportunity in cultivate. And that's going to remind you to follow up with them because you see them in your list of potential deals, right? Once you've set an appointment with them, you're going to move them on over to the next phase. And so you're always going to be trying to push people to the right, right? We want to get them closed. Underneath each phase, you can have as many stages as you want. So I'm going to click on active listings. So each of these columns is a stage under active. These you can edit, rename, reorganize, add, delete, anything you want to match your business. So what I tell people to do when you're setting up your opportunities is to go and list all the different parts of a deal. So for me, most of my sellers lately, I've been getting them a Keller offer. That's the first thing we do. Let's see if we can just sell this thing cash for how much you want. And so that's the first phase, first stage. I knew it. I you can tell I'm very careful because I mix them up all the time. Keller offer is the first stage in my listing process. Once we've gotten that cash offer and it's too low for them, which is usually the case, then we move on to staging. Stage. So once they're in staging, they're hanging out, the stagers come in, they're painting, they're doing all the things that they need to do. So I know that that's where they are. Then I've got a coming soon stage. So I've added that one. There's a handful of things that I do before it's on the market, but once it's staged. Then we've got them, we move them to showing. So that's on the MLS actively showing. Once they get an offer, they move to negotiations. Once it's binding, oh, I don't know what happened to legacy. So this isn't how I like it. So let's say this, I want to have contract close, right? So after negotiations, you go under contract, you have a contract to close stage. So if you, I'm going to shrink you people here. If you go up here in the upper right-hand corner, you've got an edit stages button. So when I click that, I get this list. So I can go up here on the right and I can add a stage. I'm gonna call that contract closed. It's gonna go in position 6 out of 7. I want it to be second to last. Now you'll see right here, you've got a probability. This is the probability that a deal is gonna close once it gets to this stage. So once I get something under contract, it's pretty likely to get to the closing table, but something still could happen to it. It's not 100%. So I'm gonna say that I'm gonna close 95% of the deals that go under contract. So that's just a guess for right now. The cool thing about Command is as you do more and more business, it's tracking how often and what that probability should be. So we'll get a chance to update those once we've watched our business for a while, right? Then you'll see a space for checklist. Bless you. So under checklist, you can add a list of items that you need to do once something is in this stage. So once it goes under contract, I'm going to add an item to mark as under contract in FMLS.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. And then I'm going to add email seller about important dates. And then I'm going to say, let's see, what's something that you do in the contract to close process that you want your seller to know that you did?
Like send the postcards.
Maybe send postcards. That might be after just listed. Maybe collect earnest money. Earnest money turned in. You wanna let the seller know that you've seen it, right?
Yes.
So earnest money submitted. I'm gonna check the check mark for client update on this one. I want my seller to see that I've checked it off.
I'm sorry, I got lost.
Uh-huh.
The second, when you put it, mark on the contract in FMLS and Georgia MLS, then you go to, what is the next step?
So I just created another task
Another task, okay.
right here, or add item, sorry. Add item.
Okay, so save the other one and add item. Okay, thank you, sorry.
So you can see email seller about important dates. I don't necessarily want my client to see that I had to remind myself to do that. Right? And the seller probably doesn't care whether I've marked it as under contract in FMLS. There's some things that they want to know about, and there's some things they probably don't need to know about. So you can see the little email folder marks that is something that we're going to notify the seller when we check it off. Cool?
Yes, that's cool.
Okay.
What's the very first one? Do what with the MLS?
Mark it as under contract.
Oh, I got you. Change the
Change the status in MLS, yeah. So contract to close is probably the most task heavy of these. Under staging, you might only have 3 things. You might have a send vendor list to seller, and you might have verify with seller that staging is complete. And then you might have schedule photos, right?
So there is actually like a buyer and a seller checklist, right? That I've
Yes.
seen.
Uh-huh.
So you can kind of take those steps and just implement here,
Absolutely.
so it's in your face.
That's right.
Me,
Yeah.
highlight outline.
Yep. And I'll show you where those tasks show up
Okay,
here in a minute.
okay.
When you're looking at these, you can just drag and drop and move them around. So that's pretty cool, and you can edit them, delete them, add new ones. Don't forget your probability that it's going to close, right? Does all of that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Yep.
Awesome.
What is legacy?
So legacy, I think I've tried to delete it a million times and it keeps coming back. So for now it's gone.
Okay.
But it does keep coming back. I think it was created when we were transitioning from Dotloop to DocuSign. It was a way for you to have a deal in here that was closed
Oh, okay.
a long time ago. It's not something that I'm using.
Hey, Carrie, I have a question.
Yeah,
Once you create the task underneath each one of those categories, like active and under contract, the task that you create under contract, do you either create that every time you create an opportunity, or will those be set in stone to where you can just copy that over to the next opportunity?
Those tasks will automatically show up in every opportunity that is created in that stage.
Okay,
And if I were to take this opportunity and move it over here. Oops. It automatically put the 5 coming soon tasks on it.
okay, that's what I need to, because
Exactly.
I was wondering if you had to redo it every single time, but that saves you time.
Nope, you're good. Now, the only downside right now, and I know this is on the list of things that they're trying to improve, is it doesn't automatically assign due dates. So ideally, you would move it over to a stage and it would say on day 1 of this stage, this happens. On day 5 of this stage, this happens. So you do have to move it over and then come in here and put your due dates of when you want it to be due. So see, now that one I did a due date.
Can I ask one more question?
Of course.
I only have one opportunity, that I'm the one listing that I have today, but I'm just thinking long-term. Would you find this tasking to have to go in here and assign all these activities, stages to each one of your opportunities as you're having multiples, because you're still having to actively do the work on top of actively put in all these different stages for each opportunity? Is there a way to where it doesn't cause you more administrative work, if that makes sense? Because I could see myself wanting to do all these things and actively doing them, but then have to go into command and assign the date and the task to each one. Seems like it would just be more work to do. So I'm just trying to figure out the best way to manage that.
Yeah, if it's just you, there's no need to do the due dates and assignments. So these tasks show up in your task list. And if I click on over here to tasks, the first thing that shows up is your lead generation tasks. These are the phone calls and the to-dos and the tasks that you have assigned to people for following up with leads on your sphere, okay? If I come up here and I click on opportunity tasks, oh, because I'm in a team, hold on. Let me, come on, little mousey. All right, let me switch to my personal, not team. There we go. If I switch to opportunity tasks and I change it from today to all time, come on. It should show all of them.
You're caught up.
I'm not caught up.
So in other words, you can use this page to keep you on task and know that you have some things you need to get done without having to go through and add a date. Plus, this just seems like there's a lot of work to do just to build this up.
If you don't want to pull down all of those tasks or all of those dates and it's just you, you just have to know to go in and look at your list every once in a while and see where you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
So probably what I would do is I would come in here and say, okay, this one just moved. Let me see what's on the task list. I'm going to say, oh, yeah, okay, I haven't done that, but I did that yesterday. And then, okay, I'll do that. Okay. And then I'm going to, yeah, the post is already there. Close. Like, I'm just going to go into each deal every day and see what I can get done. That makes sense. So really the only hard due dates on deals are like your due diligence expiring, things like that. And I'm going to put that on my Gmail calendar no matter what, with like a 2-day reminder.
So I think the reason why I'm asking these questions too is because it's one listing that I do have, the accepted offer, didn't have any due diligence, didn't have, zero finances, zero appraisal, all the different things that you probably keep track of didn't exist.
Yep.
So it was like, there wasn't anything to track outside of making sure that the earnest money was turned in.
Yeah,
So I think that that's why I'm like, well, I guess it'll be different depending on the way the offer was built.
yeah, that's right. But you still have a pretty long list of fill out the FMLS 118 form. All the little junky things you have to do, but they don't necessarily have to be done today. They just have to be done along the process, right? So I think this is a good place to keep a checklist, right? And hopefully they will give us the ability to do dependent due dates that says, as soon as I launch this opportunity in this stage, tier the due dates like this. I want this one to be due 5 days after finding, basically. I think a lot of people are kind of up in arms that they want that, so I would be surprised if they didn't roll that out sometime soon. Let's see. Okay, let's talk about potential income and probable income. So you can see in each of these stages, I've got a potential income and a probable income. If I go back to the picture view, you can see for my listings, I've got 154,000 potential income and 101,000 probable income. Can anybody guess why those two numbers are different?
Potential and probable. Potential is basically how much you could make.
You could.
And probable is what you're probably gonna actually make.
That's right. So potential income is all of my pipeline deals added together as if I closed every single one of them.
Okay, so it's everything.
Everything.
Oh, and the probable is your percentage.
Probable is
Factor.
multiplied by the percentage that I said I'm likely to close it.
Okay.
So a deal that's under contract, I just put 95% likely to close. 95% of that GCI is counted as probable income.
Okay.
So you can see, like in buyers cultivate, I've got a long shot category. These are people I just kind of want to keep my eye on and tickle every once in a while. But see, I've put them as a 1% chance of closing. I don't want to count it towards my income. Yep, so I went to, I am like awful at this mouse. So if I'm looking at the picture, I just clicked on the cultivate phase. Right there.
Oh, okay, I see.
So I've got long shot, watch is 5% likely, nurture is 7% likely. Hot is 30.
And did you assign those percentages?
I did. Okay. I did. Yep. So you define for your business who you want to track and how. Some people probably don't want to track their 1% likelies, you know? They may want to do it a different way.
Is there a way to take off the ones that you don't want to track? How do you do that?
Yep, so you're gonna go up to the right corner to edit stages. So if I go up to edit stages, then I can change this. So these are just cultivate. So these are only leads. So once I get back to, I can go to appointment. And you can see these get more and more likely to close. And then I can go to active. Once they're in my car, I'm 70% confident that they'll close. Once they're under contract, I'm 80 and 90% certain that they'll close. Okay. So that's how you get, I really kind of like, because a lot of other pipeline tools, they just look at that potential income. And you can get really overconfident seeing that you've got a lot of GCI in your pipeline, when really not much of it is that. You can see I've got listings that are further along than buyers. See, my potential to probable in buyers is much lower.
Yeah.
Because I got a lot of tire kickers that I'm not sure they're going to close, right? And so seeing that number can motivate you to say, how can I move these people a little bit further along and get that number higher, right? Okay, so we've talked about tasks, phases, stages, probabilities. Any questions about any of that?
I have one question.
I still didn't see it. I don't see where you change it from like an active listing or active buyer to not active.
To like under contract?
No, like you want to move them out of active altogether where they're not showing up on on this page. Like,
Oh, you want to get rid of
have,
them? You want to get rid of them?
yeah, like you have like, so we're underneath active, you have 5. If I wanted to take one of those 5 off, how do you get the active off of your active stage?
Okay, so 2 choices. They either said goodbye and they're out of your life forever,
Mhm,
or they've slowed down their process. They're not going to buy for 2 more years. Okay. If
mhm.
they're out of your life forever, you're going to click on these 3 dots and you're going to archive the opportunity.
Okay.
Okay. That's pretty much how you delete it. If they just have moved back a phase, you just grab them and move them, right? And you can take them from active and you can set them right back to cultivate if they.
Oh, okay. I see it now. Okay.
See how it
Thank
lights up because I'm over it. I don't want to move them right now, but you can also go into an opportunity and you can click this lost opportunity button right here.
Oh, yeah.
So if I click that, see,
Mhm.
and then save it, that'll make it a lost opportunity. The good thing about doing that versus archiving it is it's going to show up in your stats that you lost it, right? It was a deal that you lost. If you just archive it, like I archive the deals that I make up to show you guys in class because they're just fake, right? So you decide if it's a deal that you lost or if it was just a goofy deal and you just.
where's the archive ones go to? Like if you wanted to go back and find it?
Yeah, so you can go to all opportunities and then click over here on include archived ones. This was in the filters. So I went to all opportunities to create the list and then I go to filters and turn on, show me the archived ones too. And that'll bring in all my fake archived ones. So you can filter your opportunities to show just the ones that are from certain things. Just you can search by a certain contact if you do a lot of deals with one investor. You can tag your opportunities. So if you want to sort opportunities by neighborhoods to know how many you did in a certain neighborhood, or if you want to sort by all my investor deals, all my luxury deals. We tag ours with the year, but that's about all we do on our team. So I can pull everybody from 1 year.
Question.
Yes.
So this is really basic. And, so how did you get, like, at this point, all I have is my contacts in.
Yep.
How'd you get them from contacts?
Yeah.
to opportunity?
Perfect.
Okay.
What a good segue. So you've got a brand new deal. You've got a couple of choices of how to enter it. One is to come up here and create an opportunity just on the main page. And you're going to go through, you're going to fill in. You've got to have the client already entered as a contact if you're going to do it from here. So if you go in here and you find, and click on them, you can have a co-seller, put your estimated closing date, all of the stuff, commission rate, knowing hell stage.
I like that.
I think that was me just messing around.
Look at that, they are dividing over their opportunity phase and opportunity stage.
Yep.
I don't like it.
Okay, so let's say that I just set an appointment. I'm gonna change it to appointment and I have scheduled the appointment. So it'll show up in that phase. create it like that. Now, if you want Command to track your conversion rates for you, then you want to hit this little pencil. You see, when you start an opportunity, it doesn't give you the chance to enter all the data. You have to actually go in and edit it to enter more data. And you want to go down here and fill in the dates approximately. You don't have to put exact, that you set the appointment, went on the appointment, won the appointment. Because that is going to be where Command says, oh, she went on an appointment from a lead. And so it'll count how many you go on, right? And so next year, when you sit down to do your business planning, Command can tell you, you set 8 appointments for every 100 calls you make. And so yeah.
They go back, where did they, this is start.
That's okay. So we're looking at the front page of an opportunity.
Okay.
I clicked on the pencil up here,
Oh, okay.
and that allows me to add more information about the opportunity. And as the deal goes on, you're going to come in here and update the close date. Once you have, when you first start an opportunity, you probably don't know the close date yet because they're just a lead.
I have a question. So I don't know why I was thinking that when you create a new opportunities, because you have already the buyer under contract, because you have a buyer interested to submit an offer, and I always open it until I have to submit an offer, so that means no. I mean, I can do it without.
You can do it as soon as you have a lead.
As soon as I have a lead, okay.
So some people look at Command as only a way to turn in contracts. As a necessary evil. So yeah, that's, if you're using another database for your lead nurturing and you just want to wait till you get under contract to do the opportunity, that's fine. But it's so much more powerful of a tool to track your whole pipeline.
And not for anything, but I literally was trying to set up HubSpot this
Yeah.
weekend because I love the way it moves the people from one stage to the other.
Exactly.
I did not know that it did it.
Yay!
So now I don't have to have another database.
Exactly.
Cool. I love hearing that. Okay, so you want to make sure and put the value in the commission, because otherwise that's what the probable and potential incomes are calculated off, right? It's going to calculate that commission for you. You can put the property information in. You can set up a seller worksheet that will calculate their net to seller with every offer.
That is really what I.
Cool.
Yeah, because I was like, I know there's something.
Something
in the
I know.
actual
Yes.
Worksheet, to do the net to seller.
Yep.
thing.
So you can estimate all of this stuff for them, and you can turn on to show a net to seller when you compare offers.
Okay. Okay, so you do it in the seller worksheet section and then turn it on.
Yep.
Okay.
I've put porch on my opportunities. You have to add it from the marketplace, which is right
I
here.
feel like I added it, but
You go to marketplace and you get porch. You can submit an inspection report to porch, and they will send you back an estimate for all of the repairs.
Oh, yeah.
Is that
I did add it.
It's
free. Yeah, your seller has to sign something that says they authorize the sharing of the report, or buyer, whoever your client is, has to sign something that says I authorize sharing this report, and then they send you back. The thing that I tell my clients about it is keep in mind, like, you'll have 10 electrical things, 10 plumbing things, 10 handyman things, and it's gonna estimate each one as if that was the only thing being done. So it's gonna be high, because when the handyman comes and does the whole list, they're gonna give you a break on, it's not gonna be as expensive per item. So I always tell people it's an overestimate. Yeah, it's helpful.
Yeah. Take this little video.
It's one piece of data, right? That you can use to negotiate that amendment to it.
So you add that before you even get into opportunities.
Yeah, like if you haven't added it yet, you just won't have that box right there.
I see.
And if I hit that get started, it opens up a new window where I put the inspection report in and all that stuff. Okay, so we're inside of this opportunity. The other way to add an opportunity is right in the contact, which I'll show you once I show you these tabs.
Easier,
Yeah.
wouldn't it?
same thing.
Okay.
There, it's, yeah, I'll show you. So when you're in an opportunity, you've got these tabs across the top. Okay, so this is the details tab. It's like a cover sheet, right? The next tab is your seller profile. You can see that Tommy Qualters is not registered with the consumer platform, and he has not been added to the guide. So what this means, on your app, on your consumer app, if you have a client that has downloaded the app and is an opportunity, they will have a section on their app called Guide.
Yes, please.
And the guide section will give them information based on what phase they're in. So when you switch them to contract to close, you can write your guide to say, here's what to expect next.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Mr. Seller, the inspector's gonna show up. You need to leave for a little while. They're gonna come back and they're gonna have a really scary report and the buyers are gonna freak out. But it's gonna be okay. Then they're gonna ask us to fix some stuff. You can write all of that so that when they are on their guide, they get push notifications. So here's the first step of the buying guide. You guys can.
Oh, I've seen those.
Mhm.
I've just been digging around.
Did you have to type that up or that was
This one?
a?
There is a template. Yep.
Is this one?
Mhm.
Or is different? Oh, yeah, it's that one.
There's a template and then you can edit the template if you want
Mhm.
and add more, add your personality, whatever you want to do. But start with the template, right? So this is a way to check that your client is in or out of the app, right?
Does it also tell you the last time that they were on your app?
Good question. I think it does in the
That would
contact
be
record.
good info,
Yeah,
because
it
then
does.
you can follow
I feel like
up
it
on
Yep. They can also check stuff off on the app. Like if it says like send earnest money into the office through Earnest, they can check, or you can check. And it'll push notify them that you checked it off. So that's a whole nother class. We'll talk about that one later. Yes. We should, that would, okay, setting up your app, that would be good. Okay, then the very important documents. This is where you turn in all of your paperwork. Right, so you're gonna get here, I am in a listing, and so it knows that it's a listing and it's gonna tell you all the stuff that you need for your listing. First thing you have to do is pick your checklist type. So if you click this, is this a referral or is this a residential sale? Residential sale, right? So you've got 3 sections of paperwork that you need to turn in. The first is when you just listed listing. Bleh. Then you've got a whole list for under contract, and then you've got a small list for closed. So as soon as you get it under contract, if you're just using this as turning in your stuff and that's it, then you're gonna come in here and upload all the stuff that's applicable.
Is there, is the green sheet there? Oh, okay. I'm sorry, but I hadn't had an assistant and now I don't have it anymore, so I need to know
Oh, girl,
everything.
okay. You might need a one-on-one.
Yes.
So green sheet is not required anymore. You can either do a green sheet or a commissions tab in Command. It's one or the other, never both, but one or the other. So I'm gonna show you the commissions tab in a minute.
Okay, please, thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, it's better.
I think it's better.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful.
But if you want to still do a green sheet, you can do it and you can upload it here. When you click on this,
Sorry.
start a transaction. Before you do this, it's pretty straightforward. I can show you guys at the end if you need to. Of course. Stable. I click on start a transaction. And there I can sign in and I can add all the documents. Let's see if I can remember my password. Show you guys how cool this is. Hold on.
Oh my gosh.
You're okay.
Too much, yes, thank you.
It's okay.
I have a lot of things to learn. It's amazing.
It is a one-stop.
Once you connect to once you've linked DocuSign the first time,
Uh-huh.
you don't have to do it again.
It stays
right?
linked,
Okay,
correct.
good. I've already done
I
that.
did it.
Not when it was already-
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah, do a practice one before you're actually in a fire.
Exactly, I don't wanna screw up.
That's the first one I tried. Oh, crap. I know it's a new device. Well, shoot, I'm not gonna try too hard on this. If I were to log in, I could add forms, sign them, get them all there, right? Then, when you come over here, you're gonna have a purchase and sale in that room, right? So I'm gonna come here and then I'm gonna click add the file. And I can either go find it on my computer, if you have a PDF on your computer somewhere, or I'm gonna click DocuSign. When I click DocuSign, it's gonna show me a list of the signed documents that are in there, and I just pick it.
You just assign
Which
it.
is good because,
Ah,
yeah, because and then you're not saving a million copies
Mhm.
of the same form.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
I have to like constantly like
I know.
rename them, right?
Yep.
This one's signed, that
Yep.
one's signed.
Yeah, so you just assign it from your DocuSign room. Now, sometimes you're gonna have a scan of an earnest money check that you're just gonna have on your computer or your phone, and then you're just gonna manually add it, right?
But do you have to do once you set DocuSign up to connect with Command, do you have to do it for each opportunity?
So
Connect-
each opportunity is gonna have its own room in DocuSign.
Okay, got it. So,
Each opportunity will link to a separate room.
okay,
But when you're signed into DocuSign, you can go from room to room,
okay,
right?
all right.
But you wanna set it up, check clicking on this button to make sure that it's connected, otherwise you won't have that assign option,
Okay.
right? Any questions about
That's
that?
the part that confuses me, Carrie, because I do the stuff that you just said and go to transaction and then it download. You fill out, create your envelope in DocuSign, but I don't feel like it allows me to, I don't understand the sync transaction button because I don't feel like once I fill it in DocuSign that it shows up here in Command. It's almost like I still need to download and then upload it into Command, unless I'm missing a step somewhere.
So it won't automatically show up, right? So I wish I could see. I still
So
don't
it
have that.
doesn't, you have to download it once it's signed and then add it as a file to Command.
Okay, so it's not download. Okay, so if I go to purchase and sale here. And I go to add a file. If I click DocuSign right here, I never have to download the PDF. I just go and find it and click on it. There's no download upload.
Oh, then I'm doing that problem. I'm doing that.
Right there, gotta change it to DocuSign and then you gotta find it right here.
yes, and it's because that one is already connected to that room.
That's right. This
So you will be
opportunity is
able
connected to that room, so
yes.
you'll see a list of files that are in that room only.
Mhm.
Okay, then that's what I'm missing.
Yeah, I wish I could show you, but, oh, you know what? I have to tell it to email. I thought it automatically sent it. Okay, hold on. Verify new device, yes.
That's what.
9,
You're using.
1, 2, 3, 6, 2. I'm logged in. Heck yeah. Okay. So let me find this Common Cultures listing. Gotta find my mouse. Where are you? All right. So if I go in here and I go to documents, so now I'm in a room, right? I go to documents. I add. I go to DocuSign Forms, or maybe my computer, which is in the DocuSign class. So I'm going fast through this part. Do you guys see, this is new over here that you've got.
Yes, I was on my way to ask you, is those groups are for us to create our groups?
Yeah.
Okay, oh, I got it.
So the office has set up these groups of forms that are the most commonly used for a buyer or a lease or a list.
What you need.
Yep.
So those are the forms that you can fill it up with your contact information and everything, so you will be able to pull it up.
Yep, you're gonna
After-
fill, well, you need to fill in the details of each room, so that it auto fills, yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, so I've got this, let's say I go sign it and I go do all the things and, okay. So now I'm gonna go back to here. I'm gonna go back to here, add file, DocuSign, don't let me down. Yep, okay, so I had to click show forms.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm gonna click that and then I'm gonna assign it.
Because it's the only.
Oh, I wish I'd have known this. I was.
That's your shortcut button, so there it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm there on here now, and mine says no access
To
those forms.
those forms. So in your DocuSign setting, you're gonna have to put in your NERDS number, your NRDS. Do you know what that is?
You can find
Okay,
that on your web.
Yeah, you have to do that the first.
It's a number that you use once every 10 years. So once you put that number in, DocuSign says, oh yeah, she is allowed to use these forms. All right, so that's how you upload all your documents. Then we're gonna click over to the offers and commissions tab. So once you get an offer on this listing, you're gonna come over here to the blue and you're gonna add an offer. And you're going to, I like to. Now you've got two choices here. Like Yvette, who has been entering all her deals just as soon as they're under contract and nothing else. You can just enter your winning contract here. Now you have to enter every offer PDF into the documents. But there is also a tool here that you can put the details of every offer and it spits out a pretty cool comparison for your clients. So if I've got Smith.
You literally have to enter every single offer in here.
You do not have to enter every single offer where I am here. Under documents, you have to upload a PDF of every offer you get. The office needs to have a copy of every offer that you receive.
So what I did, Carrie, I don't know if I am doing correctly,
Uh-huh.
but I create a new offer file for every single offer I have received.
Uh-huh. I'll show you. All right, so I'm not gonna put a whole bunch of details here, just the required ones, because you guys can fill in things
yeah.
just as well as anybody else.
Makes sense, yeah.
Come on.
Carrie, you're saying this page here is what you do instead of the green sheet?
No, it's different.
Not quite yet,
Okay.
but you have to do this sheet in order to get to the next sheet, which is instead of green sheet. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay,
It
yes.
eventually will make sense because I'm still,
That
I
makes
did this sheet already. I've done this sheet. I just don't know what your main
That makes
size is.
So let's say we got a $200,000 cash offer. 5,000 earnest money. no due diligence, no closing costs. It's a pretty good offer. All right, and then you can add a note, pros, lots of money, cons, 8-week closing, whatever, you can put that in there, okay? And save. So I've got this one offer. Then I'm gonna add another offer. Okay, so that's the minimum. You have to put your one offer that you end up binding, okay?
Okay.
If you want, you can do that for all the offers.
Yes, that is that correct or?
That's fine,
Do it.
but it doesn't fill the requirement to put a PDF, to give the PDF
Oh, okay.
for the office. Alright. This class would be twice as fast if I could control my mouse. Terms. They offered 300. Want that house. Okay, so now I've got two offers. I can click the little gravy. Over here and compare the offers. And it gives you a spreadsheet that you can share with your clients. You can download it and print it or email it, save it as PDF.
And send it to them like, oh, that's nice.
I think it looks pretty nice.
Uh-huh.
So that would be the advantage if you have multiple offers of entering each one,
Oh, yes.
you know?
When you do it manually, is, oh my gosh.
Like in a
I have that.
spreadsheet?
I have like, yeah.
Yeah. So, for the PDFs of the offers though, you're gonna enter your binding one
On their.
under contract, and then I go and say add item. And then I say Jones accepted offer. And then I put that PDF there. And so then if somebody's reviewing the file, they can see those other offers
Okay.
in the documents section.
Great.
All right, so then we come, we've done our offers, we've picked one, signed it, everything's good, binding. Hello. There it is. So I'm gonna pick one. I definitely like the $300,000 offer, but it's a $200,000 offer, so I'm going to click accept. As soon as you click that accept button, you get where's the commissions? You get the manage commission button. So I can go change this and so I can accept or reject. Once I accept, I get managed commissions. Managed commissions is instead of the green sheet.
Okay.
So when I click on managed commissions, this is where you're going to be entering your Arthurine part 2 for your coaching clients. Okay, so general information is going to pull from what you've already put in, right? So the only thing it doesn't have is the contract date. And the close date is pulling. That may have changed, right? So if you haven't updated it, you may need to change that. That's just right here, you edit, okay? So if you're splitting the deal with another agent, that one unit may end up being half a unit, right?
Yes.
And then, okay, then we come to the payment section. So it's got my current cap balance, I'm gonna edit agent payment. If you're just one agent getting paid 100% of the deal, this should be automatic, right? It's gonna calculate. But if you're gonna edit the agent payment, I'm gonna find, so that's me. And then I'm gonna add,
But since you are in a team already, so it's not supposed to show up your agents on their view?
I have to add them.
Okay, every time that they did a.
Yeah, because it may be different each time. Might be one
okay.
agent that one time, another agent another time, right?
Okay,
And my buyer's agent can do this and add me, right?
yes.
So for you guys, you're gonna add another agent and put Arthurine. So I'm gonna add her, and then just, do you guys get, do you do it 0.9 units and 0.1 units? Do you need to know? I don't know
It's
yet.
like a dollar amount, I think.
I think it's
I thought it
10%.
was a percentage, and I thought it was.
Oh,
Oh,
It's fine.
no,
5%.
5%. Oh,
so, the only complicated factor, and we'll have to ask Arthurine how she wants it done. So on my team, I want the team to get all the units, even though the agents are splitting the commission. Do you do that too?
Yes.
Yeah. Because I don't care if Carrie Cultures wins awards, but I want Bright Homes Atlanta to win awards, if that makes sense. So when you count units. So for you guys, you probably want all the part of the commission with 0 units, right?
That would make sense to me.
yeah, that would make sense.
Okay, so for her, she's gonna get 0 units, and then you're just gonna, well, you know what you could do?
I still think you would need to confirm that with her.
Yes,
because
yeah, yeah.
at the last place I was at, the other guy did want units.
The
too.
units.
Yeah.
Ask her.
Uh-huh.
When you have your first deal, sit down with her and you do
And
this,
so it would be that 0.05 because it's 5%.
because it's the 5%. So if I calculate commission, you're gonna give her $450.
Yeah.
Question, so.
And then I'm gonna go back here and make this 0.
When you have a referral for another agent,
Mhm.
is that a place where I have to put it into?
If I have an out of the office referral, I put it out of the office, inside the office.
of the-
Yeah, I would do it here.
And I put it only half unit as
Mhm.
well.
Mhm.
Even though-
Can you explain the unit thing? I'm confused on that.
Yeah, I got confused too.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
Like what happened just there, what you just did, because
Yeah.
she was 0.05, but then where did you put that?
okay, so I put 0.05 just to use this as a calculator. So 0.05 units calculate is
Oh.
$450.
Okay,
But we just said probably, we're gonna check, Arthurine's gonna earn 0 units credit for her unit count
right,
for gold medals.
Yeah.
Right? Arthurine cares about her $450
right,
for helping everybody. She doesn't care about a 0.05 unit,
right.
right?
No.
Now, alternatively, let's say 2 of you guys in the fast track class decide we're gonna do this deal together, because we went out door knocking together and we found a seller together and we wanna split this deal and work together. You're probably gonna put 50-50 commission and you're each gonna take a half a unit,
Got it.
because you both worked hard on it. You're just gonna agree to both have half a unit on it, right? In my instance, Carrie Quilters earns 0 units, but my team gets 100% of all the units so that all of our business adds up together instead of splitting it.
Makes sense.
So something, let's say you have an out of office referral,
Mhm.
you just add it as a line item here,
Oh, okay.
okay? And just add it on there.
And does it have a, it
But
does
I
have a
think
drop down?
It
is
does, yeah.
Inside agent, if it's with another agent
Mhm.
inside of the Keller Williams, so where should I put it in there?
Yep, you would do it as a, let's see, you would add another agent right here. Anybody who's in the office is gonna be here and searchable.
Okay.
And then as far as those other sections, the associate royalty, company commission part, that's automatically calculated from here, or do you have to enter that?
Those are automatically calculated based on whether or not you're capped. So you can see I'm not capped right now. So it'll automatically take out $2,700 right here.
Okay, so it's gonna do it for you. You don't have to
And
do
do
it.
it for you. Yep. Now, when you wanna give $20 to KW Cares or KW Kids Can, you're gonna manually enter those.
Okay,
Okay? So over here, you'll get a summary that looks just like your DA, which I love, right? And then you get to hit submit, and that's what turns it into Sherry. Is that
so
submit?
that's the green sheet substitute, is that she'll see this once you hit the submit
She'll
button.
see this once you hit submit.
Okay.
Okay, can you go back for the document section, does it change? Like you see how it has those red things or it says require, does that update at all, or that just stay that way just so you know what needs to be done?
Yep, it does. So let's see. Because actually, once Sherry gets in here and reviews, let's see if I can, let's go to one of my,
I see status and I'm like, does she go through there and make changes where it shows where it's not updated, it shows updated, or?
yeah.
Okay.
So here's one that just closed. Let's see what we can see. Da, 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 da. So I've got, so first of all, this approved shows up when she's done with it. Wonder if, because this is done. I do know that I've logged in here and there's been a little red flag off to the left of that, like required or conditional. But I think since this one is closed, everything's fixed. So I don't have anything that is in that limbo of not fixed yet.
I was just wondering how Sherry communicates with us on what needs to be fixed, updated, like how often I need to pay attention to these different
So you
things.
get a little flag right here, I think, when something needs to be fixed, but more importantly, she's gonna email you this contract corrections form. So let me open it and show you what that, she's gonna email you a copy of this when she's done reviewing your contract. And you can see, she's put an X if it's done. She's put an NA if it's not applicable. She always puts all amendments still need because there may be. And closing statements she didn't have yet.
Okay, that's what I'm missing. I guess I need to go back through. Does she do this for the other stage too? Like, or she only focuses on the under contract to close stage?
Only does this on contract to close.
So the stage of like purchase sale agreement that you have with the seller, she doesn't look at those and do anything status updates on any of that?
The purchase and sale?
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll look at your purchase and sale and make sure everything, and if there's something missing. So let's see.
Because there's
So-
two different it seems like when you're in command, you went to two different places. Like there's the under contract tab, and then there's the purchase agreement tab, or the seller's tab. I was making sure which one.
So she's gonna check that all offers and counter offers are all done. And let's say you missed section 8B all the time. She's gonna write it down here in notes, say, don't forget to fill in NA for 8B.
Okay.
So she's not gonna do that until you hit that submit button on the commissions tab or turn in a green sheet. She has no idea of any of your leads or contracts or anything until you hit submit on a commissions tab.
Okay, I've hit submit on one of these, and I guess I'm just okay.
She doesn't always review it right away.
Okay.
It's usually like a week or 10 days before closing that contract corrections will come to you.
Oh, okay. That's probably what it is.
Yep. Yeah, the rest of your pipeline is for your benefit, just to see your deals and kind of keep tabs on people. Cool?
Yes.
Yep.
Everybody's brain full?
Yes.
The tough part about this class in particular is it doesn't make sense until you do it.
Do it,
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason why you want to be in coaching, is because when you get that first contract, your coach will walk through it with
and
you.
it is a good idea to practice with her, that helped me a lot. I forgot a bunch of things and she sent it back to me through DocuSign, I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay,
So it
perfect.
was, I just made a pretend.
A pretend customer and
And
write an
helps.
offer and yeah,
Cause to me, I have to do it.
Yeah.
to
absolutely.
understand it.
Yep, keep practicing. Anybody in Zoom land have any questions?
I do, but I don't want to hold the class because I'm in the middle of it and I'm just like,
Yeah, go ahead,
probably missing steps.
go ahead.
So I now I know about the commission thing, so I got that for the green sheet because I had no idea what green sheet was. So thank you for explaining that. But ultimately, everything else, it seems like the purchase and sell one, does it push over from the other? Because I already have that one. I just don't, feels like it's just in a different place than on this page. I don't know why mine feels like it's not on that page.
That I can't really help you with.
Okay, well, I'll go back and look at that. So I just need to go through each one that says required and fill it out, I guess, to make sure they're there for Sherry to look. And then hit the, but underneath the sync transaction, what does that do?
Yeah, so once you've set up the DocuSign, once you've set up DocuSign, if you feel like it's not syncing, you can force it to sync by clicking sync transaction. I have never had to click it.
Okay,
Your DocuSign room and your opportunity documents will sync automatically, but that's just a way to force it to sync if maybe the connection isn't working or.
okay,
Yeah, I've never had to do it.
okay. So that button's not necessary. That's a suggest if you need to button. Okay.
Yes, that's a good way to say it. Yep.
Thank you, Miss Carrie. Appreciate
You
it. I always learn something when you teach this class, so thank you.
Congrats on your contract.
Thank you, I appreciate it. DocuSign is still really weird. Still have a hard time with some of DocuSign stuff.
It can be funky. Thank you. You are welcome. All right, guys, always let me know by email if you need anything. We'll talk to you soon.